Hello and welcome to Funny Science Fiction, the live edition. Welcome to the Funny Science Fiction podcast, the live edition, the podcast that says super stupid things that'll get you slapped faster than Chris Rock at the Oscars.
We're still talking about that?
You know what? Kind of.
I was going to go with a podcast where when the intro music starts, suddenly your screen goes black and you don't know what's happening.
That didn't happen on my end, so that's a you thing.
I bumped my desk and I think my HDMI might be a little bit loose. So if I don't move...
A little bit? Yes. A little bit loose, if that's what's happening. Sure.
Don't move. It'll be okay. That is a later problem.
It's a smidge loose.
And before we get into tonight's show, we need to say thanks to our show partners, River City Tees and Level Up Lightsabers.
Listen to that announcer voice.
What on earth was that? That was awesome.
I don't know.
He's trying something new. But like he said, let's roll that beautiful nerd footage. First up, River City Tees.
With over 700 designs to choose from, River City Tees has something for everyone. Need some new nerd merch? River City Tees has you covered. Need funny or sarcastic designs? River City Tees has you covered. Are you looking for a new logo or custom design? Whether you need 1 or 100, River City Tees has you covered. With multiple colors and options for each and every design. With things to choose from like shirts, hoodies, phone cases, coffee mugs, and so much more. Be sure to follow River City Tees on Facebook and Instagram. If you do, you'll get the latest on designs and information about upcoming sales. River City Tees. Let's make a shirt together.
That's right, folks. Let's make a shirt together.
Look at you go.
Jeepers. Overachiever. Some of us do not have that in us on a Monday, but you know what, whatever. All right, well, that was one of our show partners. Our other one is I'm going to say it's our favorite. We all know it's our favorite. Level Up Lightsabers.
But wait, if you act now, use the link in the you can get your own lightsaber that's better than a stick.
And apparently will still work if you run it over with a car. But do not run over your lightsaber with a car.
Did you run yours over with a car?
I did not. I watched Master Allen run one over with a car. And it still worked.
Impressive.
It didn't sound great, but it still worked. But all right.
Well, hello, Jason Taylor.
The links for those are in the comment section. Please check out both River City Tees and Level Up Lightsabers for all of your t-shirt and lightsaber needs.
All right, okay. And as you can...
That thing.
There's that thing. The thing that I forgot to add till like just a second ago. No big deal. I got it. So yeah, if you haven't already, please take a moment, if you're watching on YouTube, to click the like and subscribe button. That helps us a whole lot. Helps us to continue to grow. And once you've done that, then you can also just slide right over to that link there in the comments to buy us a coffee at Ko-fi.com. That helps us to be able to offset some of our costs and bring you this fine, upstanding, awesome thing that we're trying to do here tonight. So good luck with that.
Obviously, if they want awesome and good and all those other words that you just used to describe us, they're going to need to buy us more coffee.
Well, probably so, yeah. Probably.
But we're doing our best.
I might have had a coffee before the show.
Coffee.
I have Mountain Dew.
Is it the purple one?
No, it's not the purple one. It's just in a purple bottle.
Oh, bummer.
I just currently have 2 purple bottles on my desk. So.
All right. So how does the microphone sound now? Is that better?
That is much much better.
Yes.
See, I find it's better that if you check your settings before you come in and make sure that you're actually attached to the right microphone.
Meow.
Yeah, well,
I was
This is
like,
the
are you
level of
talking into a
professionalism.
coffee can or something?
well, now I can't wait to hear the audio playback to see what I had going on there.
It wasn't terrible. It just wasn't great.
No, it was through my AirPods, so it wasn't catching the microphone like it should have. It's not catching the voice coming out of my face
It was catching it from.
off to the sides.
Literally sounded like you had a coffee can in front of your face.
Ooh, I wonder if you hooked it back up if you could do the Darth Vader voice that way.
Um,
Anyway, we
That's
have guests
a
in the
crap.
back. We should probably, introduce our guests and let
Oh
them
yeah.
join this insanity.
Tonight we welcome Justin from the Three Geeks podcast.
Nick, you are having far too much fun with this.
I want everyone to introduce me like that. Just like he's coming into a room.
I don't even know what I sound like.
You sound great.
Oh, okay. And
It's kind of impressive, not gonna lie.
You're doing great.
Oh.
and we have
No.
Anthony from the
That's great.
Sci-Fi Wise Guys to the show.
Hello.
All right,
Hello.
welcome, guys.
Hello.
All right, so Boston wanted to know if there was a link to download Pod, and of course, you can find us on Apple, Google, Spotify, and of course, you can go to YouTube if you're watching on YouTube, and you can watch there as well. So, but yeah, of course, any of your major audio podcast providers. So check us out there. We'll bring it. And I still don't know, Nick. John thinks you're bringing a new level of professionalism and respectability to the show tonight. So, all right. So, hey guys. Hey guys. So before we get started, let's take a minute and have you introduce yourselves, even though we introduced you, and let everybody know where they can find your awesome shows at. Anthony, we'll start with you.
Hello, I'm Anthony. One half of the Sci-Fi Wise Guys podcast. We watch and review straight to stream B movies for the most part. It's fun and hilarious, and you can find us everywhere you can find podcasts. If you have a podcast app that you can't find us on, let us know, and we will fix it.
Very good. Very good. Justin?
Yeah.
Sure.
What about you?
Yeah, Justin from the Three Geeks podcast. You can find us at 3geeks.ninja. Coolest website on the web in terms of ninja. It's the only one with ninja that I'm aware of. You can also find us around anywhere you can find podcasts. But yeah, check us out. We have a lot of different variety of podcasts and a lot of geeks. Much more.
Definitely more than 3.
Yeah, we're bad at math.
Well, usually
Geeks that
your
are bad
number
at
on the
math.
screen is divisible by 3. So I
That
mean,
needs to be your tagline for the show. The Three Geeks podcast. We're bad at math.
I was thinking
Really hurting
like
us with the nerds, but we got the geeks.
sort of
There
like
you go.
the Monty
thank you,
Python
Jason.
Holy Grail, where
right?
thou shalt count to 3, but not to 5, and
1, 3, 1, 2, 5. No, 3, sir. 3. All right. All right, so cool.
Wow.
So guys, please go out and make sure to check out Sci-Fi Wise Guys and Three Geeks podcast. If you're not already following them, you should be. They're a good group of guys on both shows, and they've got some great stuff. I know Justin and the rest of the gang there had a interview this past Sunday with Chris Candy and talked about a whole lot of other stuff. That's John Candy's son. And what was the
So much
what
like
was
his
the,
dad.
oh, very much so.
Yeah.
Anthony, what was the latest movie that you guys just reviewed?
Zillafoot, which is a Godzilla Toho Films tribute parody comedy mash thing. It's as incoherent as that sentence I just said.
Well, that's good to know. That says a
Yeah.
lot about the movie itself.
oh my
Yeah.
goodness,
Did you just look it up, Nick?
I did.
It is a tribute. It is a tribute and a parody. So you got to look at it through that lens, and it becomes okay.
I don't know if I want to look it up now from the looks that are coming off of Nick's face. I'm a little bit terrified.
That's true, Anthony. You would like Dan. He is a very
Yeah.
eclectic movie watcher as well.
Oh,
and anything that sucks, Dan usually likes. The work.
oh, I
the
didn't say
harder
we
it's-
like these movies.
Oh no,
we-
but the harder it sucks, the more he's going to have a chance that he thinks it should be watched.
Yeah,
Like,
it'd be a
We're
fun
looking
conversation.
for good movies. They're just not there most of the time.
Zillafoot is fantastic.
I've got a movie for you, Velocipaster.
I'm aware of its existence.
The sigh told me you're aware of it.
I did love the sigh.
Yeah.
Hi, Ro. Yeah, I'm doing great. I think we're all doing pretty well here. Thanks for checking in, bud. I do appreciate that.
We're here at least.
We're here. We have
Which I think
functioned
that
our
in
way to in front of
itself-
being in front of a camera, right?
I think that in of
Oh, yeah.
itself probably says more about us than we really want it to.
Well, you're probably not wrong on that either. All right, so
Sorry, I actually had somebody today text me and ask me, "How are you doing?" And I'm like, "You don't really want the answer to that. There is not enough whiskey in the world for that answer."
Yes, there
But
is.
anyway,
yes, well, there's always enough
So
whiskey.
Ro-
I don't have enough to try to answer that question. Somebody else.
Well, okay. There's not enough whiskey in your world. See,
Yes.
there's. All right. So, hey, the reason why we have these guys here tonight, we have Anthony from Sci-Fi Wise Guys and Justin from Three Geeks Podcast. The reason why we have them here is to reboot some movies, and we're going to do it in kind of a silly way. We're taking only actors from sitcoms to reboot superhero and sci-fi movies. Now, whether you have chosen a whole cast of a whole show to reboot your movie, or you have taken individual actors from other sitcoms and you're picking and choosing which one goes where, that's absolutely fine. And we're just kind of excited to hear where everybody's thoughts process is on this fine evening. So if you like the movies that we've chosen, you think we could have picked a better cast, you think we picked a stupid movie, tell us in the comments. We'll get it up on screen. We'll have some fun chatting about it. It'll be a good time. So, but yeah.
There you go.
All right. So Nick, you're the one next to me on the screen. You get to go first.
He's like, "Crap,
So I totally
misunderstood the assignment."
I did, but
I could just see it in the face as Tim's explaining it, and he's like, "Wait a minute."
yeah, I took it as who would you recast in general in the movie, but I'm still gonna stick with my choice. I'm gonna choose the movie Valerian.
Nick's like, rules? I don't need no stinking rules.
Have
So-
our rules ever really
He's
made
living
sense?
his best life. It's fine.
I'm gonna replace it with the cast of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Hey.
Ooh.
There you go. All right. You have my attention. And more importantly, you probably have my daughter's attention if she's watching, because Brooklyn Nine-Nine is her favorite show. Or one of her
99.
favorite shows.
I can just see Amy and oh no, what's his name?
Andy Samberg's character.
Yes,
Oh boy.
those two as the main characters, just because they have some interesting chemistry going on there, and the rest of the cast, like Terry Crews, I think could fill in as like one of the generals or something. I don't know, but
Okay.
I didn't exactly pick out a bunch of spots. Just the main two characters needed to be replaced.
Okay.
After seeing Valerian, I can agree with that statement entirely.
Nick's just phoning it in tonight.
Although I was thinking that
A little bit.
if we were replacing them outside of sitcom, I would replace them with Timothy Calamont from Dune. and
Chalamet.
Chalamet.
Yeah.
It's French.
Or
to me.
Calamont.
I mean, if you pay him enough, Brad can call him whatever you want, right?
Right.
So we're gonna say his name
Same for
right.
me.
But we can't pay him at all.
That's right.
Well, that's for you to say. I'll pay him like $5 maybe.
Yeah.
But
I have casted Timothy.
In the spice.
him as the guy character, and then Anna Sophia Robb as the girl character.
I have no idea who that is.
She did Soul Surfer. She also was in Bridge to Terabithia. She's been in a lot of other
okay.
modern stuff today.
Okay, so was she the lead girl in Bridge to Terabithia, the blonde girl?
Yeah.
Blonde girl with really big
Okay.
eyebrows.
Yeah. Okay. Now I know who we're talking about. You still
Really
had me
big
lost
eyebrows.
at Soul Surfer, but you know.
I'm just a little bit
Her
jealous
eyebrows
of
solid,
how
I'm sure.
definitive her eyebrows are. It's a little bit. It's a hard thing for a blonde. I'm not jealous.
I literally just searched blonde with thick eyebrows.
Oh boy. Safe search is on, I hope.
Right. Get some interest.
I have come to the conclusion a long time ago that Nick has probably one of the most interesting Google histories in the history of mankind, because some of the stuff he searches, we'll be talking and all of a sudden, one of two things happens. Either Kathleen is off on a Google search and after one of us says something and you'll hear her keys clicking, or you'll hear Nick's keys clicking. But it's always worse when Nick does it, because all of a sudden we hear
I try to type very quietly. Doesn't work. But... See, I'm either off on a
Kathleen.
Aw. I'm either off on a Google search or I'm playing Angry Birds while everybody else is talking. So. You never know.
At least you're giving your all to the show. That's what's important.
That explains a lot.
Taking out the pigs.
I have to make sure I feed my baby birdie so he doesn't leave. So...
Okay. All right. So Nick, how does your recast affect the show?
I feel like it would make the show slightly funnier. But I also think you couldn't do any worse than what they did. So
Is that a challenge? Sorry.
Anthony and I are recasting Valerian, and we're going to figure it out.
I mean,
I've never even seen the movie. I'll figure it out.
so the show had
Who
potential.
are you putting in the lead? Mr. T.
Just the cast of the A-Team.
The show had the potential, but it just wasn't there.
Jason would like to think that you could do worse. You could have picked
do worse.
You're right. I could
You
have.
can always do worse.
That's like the most motivational thing I've heard all day.
I could have Sting in metal underwear.
Not even Sting wants. Oh Jesus, you're typing. Okay. All right, Kathleen. We're just gonna move away from that and go to you.
We're gonna go to my train wreck. That sounds like fun. So I decided to recast the original Star Trek movie with the cast of The Office, which in all reality just turns it into Galaxy Quest. But I feel like that's still an improvement.
Who's Kirk?
Michael Scott.
Okay, just checking.
Ooh.
Oh, Michael
All right.
Scott is Kirk. Dwight is Spock. And Jim is Bones.
Dwight could be the best Spock ever.
I know.
He's
He could be a
yeah,
fantastic
very
Spock.
much.
False. We are not going down to the surface. That violates the Prime Directive.
That's
Yeah, emotions?
I ran the KGB joke scene through my head with them in purple uniforms.
It's true.
And it's just it would be hilarious. It would be absolutely hilarious.
Okay, so honestly, I thought about honestly replacing Galaxy Quest cast, even though it's a perfectly cast movie, with the Office cast earlier today. That was one of the things that I was going to do. And Boston is right. Rainn Wilson was in Galaxy Quest.
He was.
But he get like an upgrade in this movie. He got bumped to first class.
But could you imagine Steve Carell trying to be Shatner?
It'd be very good.
Like Steve Carell trying to be Shatner, or Michael Scott trying to be Shatner.
Steve Carell as Michael Scott pretending to be Shatner, pretending to be Kirk. that hurt a little bit.
Yeah,
That's good.
Steve Carell as Michael Scott pretending to be Michael Sklarn, pretending to be Captain Kirk.
Wow.
Threat level Star Trek.
Yeah, I like that. That would be good.
Oh my god, my brain hurts.
I was trying to go through and do like the rest of the cast too, but I figured that those three are like the only ones that really matter.
Honestly, Stanley as Scotty.
Oh, that would be
I can't give any more power. Have you lost your mind? I'll help you find it. So
I was just I'm now sitting here though with the but who's Creed?
Although I was thinking Kevin as
He
Scotty.
could be the first
Creed
red
is-
shirt.
Creed is just V'ger, right? He's just the giant probe approaching
right.
planet Earth.
Angela's the one who actually kept the tribbles. He just has a room full of tribbles.
Oh, God. Do they?
I broke Tim.
You did break Tim.
No, because now all I can think about is the scene in Office where they watch her licking her cats. And cleaning her cats, and now all I can think about is her cleaning tribbles. Oh God. Oh, okay,
All right.
I'm good. I'm all right.
Are you sure about that?
Sure, I'm not confident.
Are you sure you got this?
Is Kevin Chekhov
Yes. He
Yep.
is now.
is now? Oh. Whew. Okay. I'm not crying. You're crying. Shut
I
up.
have been trying for a year to get Tim that far into tears.
Oh,
From
it
other
was
than
off
just
this
making me
track.
Cry.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. I was not expecting that. So.
You're welcome.
Roy would definitely be one of the Klingon captains.
Oh man.
I
Yeah,
so need
100%.
this. I need this to happen. I need this in my life so very badly.
You know
Oh
what?
my God.
Let's get Michael Scott on the show.
The Space Force.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
do
do Space Force,
there we
right.
go. And then we'll do we'll see if we'll pitch the idea to him.
I mean, you know,
Be great.
Big Bang is a search for Spock. That could be interesting. That could be interesting for sure. All right.
I needed
Excellent.
that today, Jason.
All right. Yeah,
Making
Kathleen,
that
you got. I don't know what you won as far as the podcast is concerned, but I'm sure you won something, and I'll buy
Sure,
you a
it's
drink.
very
or something.
nice.
I'll buy you a drink the next time we're out. How about
I was
that?
gonna say, I think according to Jason, he's buying her coffee.
Oh, well, there you go.
Winning life is coffee.
I will put my crown on. There we go.
That's
There you
about
go.
right.
The tiara. All right, Justin, tell us what you. Oh, hey. Well, I'm sorry. Before we do that,
Mhm.
Kathleen, I almost forgot. How does casting The Office affect your movie?
Obviously, by the fact that you almost fell out of your chair, it makes it 1,000 times better.
Kathleen won me setting the thermostat on even number until morning.
Thank you, John.
There's a story there.
Oh, it's been a fight for the last week. Every time I walk by the thermostat, it's at 69 or 71. It's like thermostats need to be on even numbers.
They
Weird.
do?
Because 69 and 71 are not the right temperatures. Don't ask. It's weird.
So is it 68 or 70 is the proper temperatures? Your brain amuses me sometimes.
Oh,
You
don't want to go down that rabbit hole. You stopped the show that you would go down my brain rabbit hole.
Oh, I'm well aware. There's been I spent enough time with you. I'm well aware.
It's a scary piece.
All right, Justin, tell us what you got.
Sure. This is more of my pitch that I would like another Spawn movie. I just finished, I think, a couple months ago, the Spawn TV show.
Okay.
So 1997 Spawn I want to redo with a handful of folks from different TV shows because I didn't catch wind of the whole cast deal. So Al Simmons, main character of Spawn, right? I always butcher his name, but Mahershala Ali. He's doing Blade.
Doing the new
right?
Blade, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But his Luke Cage, his Cottonmouth, was I think perfect for what Blade would be. You care about him as a character, but he's still kind of a jerk. Like I think he would go real well with
Okay.
Spawn. Terry Fitzgerald is Al Simmons' best friend, and he marries the wife of Al Simmons, because Al Simmons dies, if you don't know from Spawn, and comes back as kind of an undead thing. I would say Jaleel White from Family Matters as Stefan Urkel, the suave version of Urkel, the cool friend. And I loved the idea of Urkel being cool in a Spawn
Urkel.
movie.
That's
Urkel, yeah. And then the clown, the main antagonist of the movie, Danny DeVito as Frank from It's Always Sunny, because I think it would be a lot of fun. He's already a gutter baby, so it'd be
Anyway, I start
perfect
shooting.
I mean, he's just a penguin, but just with more steps. But it'd be very good. And then Wanda Blake, Al Simmons' wife, is Maeve Millay. I probably butchered her name too, but Westworld. She's in Westworld. She's wonderful in Westworld. I really cared about her as a character. I think she was one of the robots that finally realized sentience in that, but it was a lot of fun. Wanda Blake, oh no, that's wrong. Jason Wynn, who's the main human bad guy of the show. Bryan Cranston as Walter White. So the Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Bad guy there. And Colagnistro, who is kind of Spawn's mentor. I thought Charles Dance, so Tywin Lannister, would be a lot of fun.
Oh, okay.
Anything he's in, I'm gonna watch.
I know, right? I even watched the Godzilla one with him. I liked him in it. Billy Kincaid, who is a murderous, like, ice cream man that also does, like, it was based off of that murderer that was I think a clown. I think, don't quote me on that, but Newman from Seinfeld. I thought it would be a lot of Newman. And then Jessica Priest, who was Jason Wynn's right-handed lady, that was also an assassin. Jennifer Gardner from Alias would be a lot of fun. And then Malboja, which is basically like the devil. Trey Parker, Satan from South Park.
All right. Okay. Cool.
You know, you mentioned Jennifer Gardner, which just makes me think she lied to me.
What did she lie to you about?
There is no such thing as 30, flirty, and thriving. Not happening. 30, in pain and crying.
30, the never-ending nerve.
It's all right. It's because 40 is the new 30, so you're just not.
I'm just not there yet. Because 30 is like the new 80. So
yeah, you do this weird Benjamin Button like inverse thing. You feel really old, and then you get younger again,
and then you die.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Oh, it doesn't. Well, don't tell me that, Tim.
Don't crush my hopes, Tim. But
I'm 45, and I flew past 40, and I certainly didn't feel 30. I don't feel 35 now, and I don't feel like I'm getting any younger. So,
well,
that's
well.
Your anecdotal evidence is just not going to crush my dreams.
I like how Nick's just like, well, that's all I got.
Don't do a bear trap here. I'm trying to walk out of it.
That is Nick's supportiveness.
That was his supportive So,
but I think my cast out affects the movie. We had some more comedy there.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a lot of fun. I just want to do a Spawn movie. Let's make it happen.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to see a Spawn. I think that movie was way ahead of its time when it should have been released. It did not have the CGI capabilities and all the things needed to accurately make that movie. And I think that, I think that would be a good one to redo. I think that would be, it's over. I mean, with all the superhero movies and everything we've got coming out, I don't understand why that one hasn't been redone.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, it has such a rabid fan base too, between the comics and the cartoons and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't get it either. So this one hurts.
I don't think it was ever the new one.
No.
Oh, that's rude.
Fair.
Avengers with a cast of living color.
Oh boy.
Okay, yeah. There's now I want to see Jim Carrey as Loki.
Well, that would work.
But like over the top, just eccentric, over the top Loki, not a
Falling for 30 minutes.
Like Jim Carrey playing the Riddler, playing Loki.
Yep.
right.
Playing liar.
Fire Marshal Bill as Loki.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, let me tell you something. I've been falling for 30 minutes. Anyway.
I mean, the multiverse is now open, so the possibilities are limitless.
It could be a thing.
Who knows
They're
what
limited only by the budget.
Okay, yeah,
She
that's
would not take down the xenomorph. She would invite it to a candlelight supper.
I was thinking I would love to see the movie Alien with the Muppets.
And we're back to the Muppets.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We had escaped from the Muppetverse
Okay,
for weeks.
Okay, but only if Gonzo is the chest popper.
I was thinking the shrimp guy.
Yeah, like the meat.
But who would play the xenomorph? Are we saying that the alien monster wouldn't also be replaced as a cast? Imagine just a human running around, like a naked human just running through like the.
You'd have to bring Big Bird on as the xenomorph,
That's right.
because the height difference and everything.
Yeah.
And then
You could do an oversized Gonzo as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
The strip's name is Pepe.
Pepe.
Yes, I thought it would
And
be
he's Pepe the
hilarious.
King Prawn.
Pepe Silva.
You know, if Pepe just pops out of the chest and he's like, "Ha! I'm a king prawn."
Sorry, you said the shrimp, and I'm like, I'm gonna be mad at myself if I don't remember his name. But Google remembers things for me.
There you go. All right.
Just the Grinch as Loki. Nice.
My head is so distracted right now with In Living Color and all the possibilities, and mostly it's just Jim Carrey playing everything in my head, with some Damon Wayans here and there.
I'm not sure it's believable that Newman would fit into any of those ducks.
No,
It's
no,
just
he
like Newman has to go on a diet.
Pre-Newman.
Pre-Newman. Yeah.
Pre-Newman.
Smaller.
Pre-40.
Or
pre-40.
bigger ducks, right? I mean, maybe
Yeah.
I'm wrong. Maybe it just
Right.
a larger ductwork.
He just,
Great.
has a bigger air handling unit. So,
That's right. Yeah. More air conditioning. Great.
It's worth a try. All right. So, Anthony, let's move on to you and see what you got, bud.
Okay. So I put way too much effort into this. I apologize ahead of time.
That's all right. None of us put any effort into it, so
we-
you're just taking all of it.
Yeah.
It's okay. You have the balance of Nick. So Nick didn't put any effort in. You put in too much effort. There's an equalizer.
Which of us is the light side? Which is the dark side? We'll know later.
You have 20 minutes.
I picked Star Trek First Contact.
Mhm.
I wanted
Alright.
to do Star Trek, the one with the whales, but I'm glad I didn't, so that Kathleen could have the original cast there.
Thank you.
I did not pick one show. I chose a actor from. I chose a different actor from a different sitcom for every character. I did not use the same sitcom twice. I don't think. I also made a PowerPoint presentation, so you're more than welcome to have that and share it later.
Awesome.
With all of my suggestions.
Only if you announce next slide every time we have to change one.
And next slide.
I'll
And next
record
slide.
that and embed it inside the PowerPoint. I'm pretty sure I can do that. So starting with the top. So with Captain Picard, I wanted to pick a TV dad that wasn't an idiot, at least not all the time. And that was actually very difficult because TV sitcom dads are idiots. They get walked over by everyone. But I dug deep and I went with John Goodman.
That'd be good.
Okay.
because I think that Mr. Connor he's approachable, he's funny, he can be serious and mean when he needs to be. He's got the full breadth. I mean, John Goodman is a fantastic actor, and if you're going to replace Patrick Stewart, you got to go A-list. Wow. For Will Riker, I wanted to do Adam Scott from Parks and Rec. Well, looking into this, I found out that Adam Scott is already in Star Trek First Contact. He is an extra on the board on the bridge of the Defiant, next to Michael Dorn. So instead, I went with Chris O'Dowd from the IT crowd. Figured we could do an Irish version of Riker. It works, especially since O'Brien isn't in this movie. I'm going with it.
Okay.
For Data, I went with Zach Braff.
I can see that.
Because he's lanky and weird looking, and I thought it fit.
And he's got a goofy personality.
He's got a goofy personality. Brent Spiner is obviously a great comedic chops. And then does Data. Zach Braff does Scrubs, where he's just weird and over the top and voices and all sorts of different weird things. Then you could do Data. If he was still acting or whatever. Geordie LaForge, I went with Terry Crews. And then
I like that option.
Yes. I have no reason for that. It just did. For Worf, I felt very strongly that Jaleel White could play an intimidating but lovable Klingon. I know he's already been mentioned, so I'm using him twice. Beverly Crusher is Danielle Fishel or Fischel. I have no idea how to pronounce that. As Beverly Crusher, Topanga from Boy Meets World. Mostly because in the 90s, I had a crush on both Gates McFadden and Danielle Fishel. So I just replaced one with the other. It worked out.
There you go.
Deanna Troy, Counselor Troy is Zoe Deschanel because they have the same hair. I have no other reason. Lily Sloan as Tia Mowry. I chose Tia over Tamara because she was the first one that came up when I did the Google search.
Because reasons.
Of reasons. Zephram Cochrane, inventor of the warp drive, is obviously Kelsey Grammer. But early Frasier Kelsey Grammer, not Cheers Kelsey Grammer.
Okay.
I don't know why I need to make that distinction, but I do. The Borg Queen will be played by Jodie Sweetin, Stephanie from Full House. I think she can pull it off. Creepy, weird, unnecessary. Jodie Sweetin. Lieutenant Hawk, originally played by Mill McDonough or whatever, before he got all weird. I chose Kunal Nayar, who played Raj on Big Bang Theory. The character of Lieutenant Hawk is only there to sit in the background, have a few lines, and then die later. Basically does nothing. And I felt that Kunal's experience on Big Bang Theory led right into that. So for Lieutenant Barclay is Donald Glover. The emergency medical hologram will be played by Lisa Kudrow because I had to find somebody from Friends. I originally was going to do Matthew Perry, but I feel like Matthew Perry is obviously Captain Kirk. So I changed it. Henry Winkler will be the Vulcan at the end. Who just shows up, says,
Hey,
prosper or whatever, and then and then sits there. And then last but not least, the computer voice will originally voiced by Michelle Barrett. Rest in peace. Will be played by Bob Saget.
All right.
Also rest in peace.
I like it.
Thank you. I put a lot of effort into that. I've blazed through it. Hopefully,
you did great.
I need the list. Like I said, it's in PowerPoint form. I will share it. Share it out there. I had a lot of fun.
You got some solid picks there.
Thank you.
So
overall, my goal was to just make every character a little bit more than they were before.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I wanted everyone to be a little bit more over the top. Star Trek First Contact is a movie that I have a love-hate relationship with. I love the movie, especially as a kid, because it's action and it's Star Trek and it's the Borg and blah, blah, blah. As an adult, it's a generic action movie with Star Trek painted on it. So this will make it a little bit more interesting.
Actually, I like the pick of Zoe Deschanel as Counselor Troy. I think because
she pulled it off.
I think she would pull it off, and it's not just because of the hair, but because of the way that in her acting, she's kind of, she even in the show New Girls, she's kind of like almost an empath anyway, feeling very empathetic towards everybody and everything, and so
and she talks with her hands.
Yeah,
she's she's an emphatic person.
Very emphatic, just demonstrative with her hands. Yeah. No, I think that's a good pick. So, yeah. All right. Excellent. And you gave a nice explanation as to why you picked him. So very good. Very good.
Speaking
all right.
of,
I sweated a little bit over this. So, yeah.
Speaking of Zach Braff, I did just see him in the new Cheaper by the Dozen on Disney as the dad.
Where you held at gunpoint?
Did you look it up on purpose?
I thought you were saying you saw Zach Braff at Kroger.
I was bored, and I was like, what should I watch today? And I was like, oh, this is new.
So,
do you think Zach Braff has been inside a grocery store in the last 30 years?
Well,
so you watched the new Cheaper by the Dozen, but isn't it more of a yours, mine, and ours?
I mean, with inflation.
With inflation. All right. Wow. Nick's like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. We're done.
I'm sorry.
Like happy that I watched a movie, but no, you're just gonna pick on me.
He's like, this quickly went to 4-on-1. I am done here.
I thought your idea about the Muppets and Alien was great.
Jeez. I did too.
I thought it was fantastic.
All right.
So what's your choice, Tim?
My choice is the movie X-Men in the year 2000 that came out with, that was the original with, oh my God, my brain just went blank. He plays Logan. He plays Wolverine.
Hugh Jackman.
Thank you. Hugh Jackman. That was the first, the first time we got to see that. And I can't believe I couldn't remember that. Anyway, so I thought
45.
You know what? Nobody likes you. Anyway,
Go ahead.
Are you going to do
24.
the cast from the sitcom Star Trek?
No. So, what I thought I would do is I wanted to make the movie, even though it has some humor in it, I thought we would pick a cast from a humorous sitcom. I picked a full sitcom, and I'm bringing the entire cast of that sitcom into the movie. No. And another no. Anyway, so here it is. To play Logan or Wolverine, I'm going to have Chris Pratt, aka Star-Lord, also known as Andy Dwyer, the lead singer of Mouse Rat, to be our lead character. Professor X, I thought would be a really good place for Adam Scott to land, because he plays a little bit of a cerebral character anyway. He can play somebody who's very intuitive, but he can also be a jerk if need be. He's shown that in other characters. So Ben Wyatt, Adam Scott, Professor X. Rogue would be played by Leslie Knope, Amy Poehler. Just because I thought, in the movie they gave her a Southern accent, and I thought, well, Amy Poehler could pull that off pretty convincingly, and we could have some fun with her not being able to touch people and the comments that she would make in doing so. So I just thought Amy Poehler would be a lot of fun there. And then as far as Storm is concerned, I thought that would be a good place to put Rashida Jones, Ann Perkins, because reasons. I needed her to be somewhere. And so Storm it was. Jean Grey, I put Aubrey Plaza, who plays April Ludgate, and also Andy Dwyer's wife in this show. And so because there's that cute little love triangle between Chris Pratt's character, Aubrey Plaza's character, and oh goodness, who was the other person?
Cyclops.
Jones.
Well, yeah, so it's the Cyclops would have to be Rob Lowe. Then there would be kind of a weirdness there between the three of them, and because anyway, I just thought it'd be funny because Chris Traeger, Rob Lowe's character, was technically the boss over the whole department, and just Cyclops always thought he was kind of the boss, and
Perkins. What?
So yeah, and Perkins. So, and then for Magneto, I thought, who hates everybody and would like to see most of it get destroyed and would want to take it? Ron freaking Swanson, Nick Offerman.
I was waiting for where you were going to put Ron.
Well, it was in one of two places. It was either going to be Magneto or it was going to be Senator Kelly because he hates government so much. And I thought, okay, so it could be that. But I put her name is she only has like one name originally. Her name is Retta. In the show, her name is Donna. And I thought that she could play Senator Kelly as kind of a corrupt senator, somebody who wanted to go out there and just continually treat yourself. And then Toad is Aziz Ansari or Tom.
That'd be perfect.
And Sabretooth, we played by Jim O'Hare or Jerry. And I picked that because Jerry is a bumbling idiot, but makes a lot of mistakes in the show. And in the movie, Sabretooth is a bumbling idiot and makes a lot of mistakes and always has Magneto mad at him. And who is Ron Swanson always mad at? Jerry. So, but yeah, so that's my cast. That's how I did it, because I thought it'd be kind of fun to see them in different kind of characters and different body types. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to see X-Men 2000 get a little bit more humor.
You sold me. I want this.
I think it'd be fun.
You just wanted to see everyone in Parks and Rec and spandex.
No, particularly Jerry, but yeah.
I only have one issue with your casting.
Okay.
Where's little Sebastian?
Replace the Statue of Liberty with a giant statue of Lil Sebastian.
A giant statue of a miniature pony.
Right there. He said it. What he said. I like that. We're going with that.
A giant statue of a miniature pony, so it's like half the size of the Statue of Liberty.
So a horse.
Like a normal-sized horse.
Clydesdale Sebastian.
Do you know what happens to a Tom when it gets struck by lightning?
Who knows?
Go shopping.
Oh. I don't know. I'm guessing this next comment's going to tell us.
Come on, Tim.
He's going to treat yourself.
Storm literally said to Toad in that movie,
"Oh,
you know what happens to a Toad that gets struck by lightning?"
Okay, that makes more sense. Sorry, I was reading a little too literal. I was like, I thought this was a great dad joke, and we're okay. Lay it on me. Here we go. I'm waiting.
You totally.
Where does Jeremy Jam end up?
In the garbage where he belongs.
Probably in the sequel.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough.
You have to be in the sequel.
Dark Phoenix.
And Will.
Nobody wanted to be in Dark Phoenix.
Jeremy Jam is Dark Phoenix. Done. That's how you would have got me to watch that movie.
Oh, we'll see. All right. Oops. All right. So we did say that we were going to try and talk a little bit about Moon Knight. Now, Anthony and Justin haven't watched a whole lot of it, or any of it, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll try to do this as spoiler free as possible.
Oh no. Spoil away.
Okay. Anybody else making any sense out of Moon Knight yet?
I have not finished episode 2 yet, so no.
Yes.
Does it make more sense to you now, Nick?
I think so.
Well, that's good. That makes one of us. All right.
I figured I would finish watching episode 2 when I'm under the influence of narcotics later in the week recovering from surgery. So maybe it'll make sense then, and I will report back.
So I will say...
Just need to know if that's how we have to do it now.
The first episode, I was like, what? I've actually watched both episodes twice now. And
do they make sense watching them more than once?
They do, actually.
Oh, well, that's good.
So,
okay, well, that's good to know.
I wasn't as terrified rewatching the first episode.
Because you knew what was going to happen. There wasn't all
right. I was like, oh, okay.
Coming at you.
Yeah, I'm okay. And so I feel that the second episode, I'm still left with a lot of questions, but I'm like, okay, I can see where this is going, or
right.
I have an expectation of where it's going now. Like,
you can see that they're trying to start getting it towards the end of episode 2. You can see that they're trying to get it to where things are going to start, some plausible answers can start coming up. But it also left me with some questions that needed answers at the end of episode 2.
Yeah.
it is a little weird. It is a little disjointed, just like John's comment. I do think that there is something there. I'm just not quite sure what it is yet.
There was a point I wasn't sure. Like, I know Moon Knight is supposed to be the good guy, but there is a point where I'm like, I don't know who the bad guy is per se.
If I remember the character, and I don't know about the TV show, but like, is he closer to Deadpool than anything else? Like, I always thought like there was like some synergy there. Not necessarily he is Deadpool, but like comedy wise and things like that. Does it lean anywhere towards that at all? I could be wrong.
But
No,
it's like thriller comedy. Like there is humor in it, but I feel like that's just to soften the blow of the next scary thing. Like,
Sure.
Yeah.
there was a
Go ahead.
there
Nick.
was a really funny moment in episode 2 I thought was hilarious. It was when he called the suit to him the first time.
Yeah. And it's not the suit. He just said it was going to be a suit, and it's a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some subtle humor, just kind of like laying under the surface, and you have to kind of pay attention for some of that. And then there's some outright jokes, kind of like that we've kind of become accustomed to with MCU stuff.
I even thought in episode 1, just like the ice cream truck scene was funny in a way, because it's the ridiculous aspect of you're in the MCU and he's in an ice cream truck, but also the voices in his head referring to the let us have control because you're the dumb ones in control. Like I appreciated moments like that.
Yeah.
And then there's giant Egyptian monsters, but
so yeah, there's some good stuff. There's definitely some good stuff.
Was it having not seen it, how is Oscar Isaac? Is he well cast?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I read a fan theory, and he is well cast. To the short answer, yes, I think he does a really good job in the show. But one of the things that people have noted is that he plays one of the incantations of the Moon Knight's alter egos is a character from London, but they think he doesn't do a very good British accent.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, they think what's happening is that the other guy who's supposed to be American is actually also this other guy as well, and he just doesn't realize it because of the way that the Egyptian god's name, who I can't remember, has split his mind. Is forcing him to talk with this English accent, and in doing so, he's using like a bit of posh English accent, a little bit of like Cockney English accent. The catchwords from this side of town, catchwords from that side of town, and kind of mixing it all together, like things that he would have heard in movies, or like if he had watched like 12 hours straight of Monty Python, and then and then took over, all these different little things.
So that kind of makes sense in the realm of episode 2, when what's her face shows up, and she's like, "No,
good old what's her face." Yeah. So there's some definite possibility there, and I think that to me is one of the bigger questions moving forward. All right, so how exactly are these personalities split? Is it actually like a cognitive dissociative disorder, or dissociative personality disorder?
Identity disorder.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is it actually that, or is it this Egyptian god creature splitting the brain to make different personalities to protect one from the other, or to hide details of this thing from one from the other, or something?
So even though I know it's the same character, like it's the same person, I think he does a really good job at separating the two characters.
Agreed.
In how he plays them, as in, you can't really, like, I was slightly amazed because I'm like, his level of acting here and then his level of acting here, I'm like, nice. Like, that was very, like,
Yeah,
Nice.
Nice.
noise.
Nice.
It was noise. How you doing? Anyway, so there's some really cool stuff coming up in Moon Knight. If you haven't watched it, I do think it's very much worth the watch. Apparently, rewatching them is going to help you understand things a little bit better. Maybe make it a little more clear. The first episode is, when you get done watching it, it is literally clear as mud. Second one is watered down mud, and I'm hoping by episode 3 that we actually start getting a clear picture, so that because I don't, do we know how many episodes this is? Because I haven't looked. I thought it was 7 or 8.
I heard
6.
6 or 7.
It is 6.
somewhere.
Okay,
Yeah.
well then by
It's
episode
6.
by Wednesday they better have us pointing in the right direction, because we're running out of daylight. We're running out of yardage here, folks. So, but I think that I'm also looking forward to the possibility of seeing a cameo by Blade. I really do think that's going to happen. Because there was the London Avengers, or I think they also call themselves the MI13, or that were based out of London, and so you'd have him, you'd have is it the Black Knight?
Yeah, Black Knight. Yep.
Black Knight, you have Black Knight, Blade, and Moon Knight be able to work all together as the London Avengers, as as the MI13, the London-based group. So it might be kind of interesting to see that kind of get built up, and I think that's a possibility.
Is this going to turn into like a Sailor Moon type thing?
I mean,
We can only hope.
all right. Well, hey, we're running out of time here. We went a little long on our movie reviews, and mostly me dying of laughter on a couple different things because it amused me. So,
Hey, but it is the funny science fiction podcast. If you didn't want funny,
you shouldn't
Find
have
the
been
science
here.
fiction podcast.
yeah, should have been a different show.
That's right.
So, last Friday, our guest was Dave Fennoy, who you may know as Korath from the Guardians of the Galaxy animated series, or from his work in multiple video games such as Metal Gear Solid 4, StarCraft 2, World of Warcraft, and many, many others. But if you're a Star Wars Clone Wars fan, say that 10 times fast, then you may know him as the Jedi we all love to hate, Pong Krell.
Well, hey there. How you doing? I'm Dave Fennoy, and you're listening to the Funny Science Fiction Podcast. Did I get it right? Up your nose with a rubber hose. But wait, there's more. And if you order right now, not only will you get these 75 great hits, but shipping and handling is absolutely free.
All right.
He was my inspiration tonight.
I mean, shipping and handling being free is really a sell,
Always a sell.
You can still find that episode of Funny Science Fiction Podcast on our YouTube channel and your favorite audio podcast providers.
And remember, your subscription to our YouTube channel is a major help. So please do not forget to click the like and subscribe as you watch our videos. But coming up this Friday, our guest is an accomplished voice actor with many roles and many award nominations. She's been the voice of Cinderella for years. But, she's got some really cool sci-fi and superhero titles that you would know too.
Hi, this is Jennifer Hale, and you're listening to the Funny Science Fiction Podcast.
So we had a really great talk with Jennifer Hale, and if you're familiar with her voice acting work at all, then you know her as Jean Grey of the X-Men animated series from the 90s. She was Ayla Secura of Star Wars. Of course, she was Cinderella, Carol Danvers, or Captain Marvel of Marvel Avengers. She's Ash from Overwatch, and literally the list goes on and on and on. She literally does have 1,000 voices inside of her
actually, while looking up something for my current playthrough of BioShock Infinite, realized she's in that too.
Oh yeah, she's in so many things.
just the list is staggering. But yeah, she's a really cool. We had a great conversation with her about her work, what she's done, what she's doing. Matter of fact, she is. It just recently got posted to her IMDb. She's going to be part of the new Marvel X-Men 97 series that's coming to Disney Plus, and we'll be interviewing the showrunners for that X-Men 97, Eric and Julia Lewald, here in the next couple weeks. So we're looking forward to that as well. So we'll be able to have a chance to talk to them about. They're the ones who brought the show, that X-Men show, to TV on Saturday morning in the 90s, and they're bringing it back now on Disney Plus. And from what I understand, it's even going to be drawn in the 90s style animation. It's going to be very cool,
That's
very
great.
retro.
That makes my little 90s heart very happy.
Yeah, very excited. Very, very excited of that. So tune in this Friday morning. You'll be able to watch that on YouTube right here on the Funny Science Fiction
You
YouTube
guys should do
channel.
Saturday morning just for that one.
It could be a possibility.
Saturday morning cartoon.
Or you can listen on your favorite audio podcast provider, whatever that may be. And like Anthony said earlier, hey, if you can't find us on your favorite audio podcast provider, let us know. We'll make sure that it gets there. All right, guys. Thanks again, Anthony from the Sci-Fi Wise Guys podcast. Thank you so much for coming and putting up with our madness.
Thank you.
Justin from 3 Geeks podcast. Again, thank you. Very much the same reasons.
Yeah.
And anybody who's listening still at this juncture of the show, please go give them a like, a subscribe, and check out their work as well. They're doing some great stuff over there. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I thought we were going to get a much bigger bye out of Nick than just bye. I was setting him. I was setting him up.
That was a good one.
It was good. I was even stepping back, letting him go, and we got a bye. Thanks, Eeyore. All right, see ya.
On behalf of the rest of the hosts of Funny Science Fiction, we'd like to thank you for listening to this episode. If you'd like to be a guest on one of our future episodes, please contact us by means of our Facebook group, Funny Science Fiction. You can find us on Twitter or Instagram using the handle @FunnySciFi, or you can go to DraytonAllen.com and click the Contact Me link at the bottom of the page. Thanks again. Hope you enjoyed the episode.